Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Friday evening. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Friday evening, guys. In fact, I have an email response for one of my good brothers who emailed me. His email is very long, so I'm going to summarize it. I love long emails, especially from the guys, because a lot of the times the men don't really express themselves. Some don't really express themselves, but he expressed himself and communicated what he's feeling, what he's going through, with a lot of emotions, and ultimately he's going through it. So he said he loves the channel, and he loves the fact that I can balance out, men and women topics. So, my brother, I'm going to give you my opinion from the best of my ability. At the end of the day, remember, I still am a female, so you know, there are certain things I may not be able to answer. Um, but I think, okay, let me just flow. Okay, so basically, to make a long story short, a couple of years ago, he met the quote unquote woman of his dreams, and she's the first woman that he's been faithful to. He's 38. He's the first woman. She's the first woman that he's been faithful to. He's been faithful to her for about a year and a half, and recently he started cheating, and he got sloppy, if you will, and he got caught. She's left. She's moved on, and he's feel like he's losing his mind, and he wants my opinion on a few things, like what is going through a woman's mind. Why can't women understand that with men, a lot of the times cheating is specifically physical, where there's no emotional attachment, as if when women cheat or women have sex or whatever, things like that, as well as any tips he could do. And there's a few other things. I'm gonna just flow. I'm just going to go and see where it goes. Okay, my brother. Again, thank you for trusting me with your topic. Before we start, the one thing I don't want to do is, because it's something you said in reference to, and a lot of people use that term where a man is a man. We're not going to hide behind the fact that being a man gives room, if you will, to use that term as an if, like, no. There's a lot of men out here who are extremely disciplined. Now, when you're comparing the two, right? Men who are disciplined and not disciplined when it comes down to being faithful or sex. Of course, the percentage is a lot lower, but there's a great deal of men out here who are very disciplined and who are faithful to the woman that they love. Now, I think we all can agree that takes extreme discipline. And I would even say that most people I've heard say you have to have some kind of, well, for us it's the Holy Spirit, but you got to be committed to some higher power in order to even sustain that. Like, you have to have that accountability versus you trying to maintain it on the flesh alone. And then you hear other people, you can hear atheists say it's more about just your life and discipline in general, because you can build more in life, you can achieve more in life when you have discipline. There's a lot of areas that, okay, I'm gonna go left there. So anyway, yeah, all men don't cheat, my sisters. You haven't been with every man in the world. And I think that's unfair to say. That's almost equivalent to men saying that, quote unquote, all women are gold diggers. And chosen women, we're not even moved by that by that materialistic stuff. So like, we've never been like the quote unquote gold digger chicks. Like, so it's unfair for us to put that label on all men. Next, my brother, we have to go and dig up, no pun intended here. Kizzy, can you be serious for 5 minutes? Right. Okay. We have to go and we have to dig up some things in your past, because a lot of the times we're fighting with certain things, certain demons, and we don't even realize that it's coming from things you may have been exposed to, let it be in your childhood, or just certain things in life, right? A few perspective here. Like, did you have like that father was a Rolling Stone type of dad, right? Did you have uncles and cousins who all sat under the tree drinking to talk about all these different women they had and all this nonsense? I told a guy this years ago, and he was like, girl, like you hit it head on. These uncles and these dads and these cousins all sitting under the tree telling little boys that, it's cool to have all these different women and side chicks this and side chicks that. But the one thing them uncles never did was tell those same little boys how to deal with the emotional side of things when that one that you really love leave you behind for whatever you got going on. So instead of them putting on game, right, they that's why they're now 80 under the tree still drinking the drunk. They still haven't processed those emotions yet. They had 1,000 women on the same street probably, but only one of them really had their heart like that, left her behind for their behaviors, and now they're 80, 85 years old. They're still sitting under that tree drinking and acting the fool on a hot summer day. Sir, tell your nephews, tell your sons, tell the truth of the truth of the truth that one of those women that he loved is going to leave his behind because she had enough of his cheating, right? So that's just one perspective, right? Were you exposed to that mindset? Maybe not. Maybe not. Were you molested? Because at the end of the day, you hear it's more talked about, I guess, if you will, when girls are molested, but boys are molested. Of course, I don't have those statistics right now, but boys are molested at a very alarming rate. So were you exposed to those sexual demons and spirits very, very early, at a very early age? And then what happens? And those are just two perspectives. We can go with 1,000 for the sake of time. So now you grow up and you're trying to figure out as a teenager, why are you addicted to porn? Or why are you addicted to sex? Or why? Like all these different thoughts. And then you think that it's normal, but it's really not normal. It's not normal that you can't work a 8-hour job and porn is not literally in your head. Or it's not normal to be able to sit next to a female and you can't even control yourself. Like you're literally fidgety because your impulses, right? That's not normal. That's not normal. Right? We all have desires. We're all adults here. Let's keep it real. But it is not normal to not have control over your impulses. That's not normal. All right. So let's fast forward. So you quote unquote, you met the woman in your dreams. And again, sisters, I'm a whole woman. I can hear you right now. If you met the woman of your dreams, why in the world would you jeopardize that? Why? I get it, sisters. I get it. I have to hit it from different perspectives. I agree with you 110% there. Seriously, I do. All right. So you met the woman in your dreams. Just because you met the woman of your dreams does not mean that you have that side of you discipline yet. So that character flaw is still there, even though you met the quote unquote woman of your dreams. This is why it's crucial. You will hear a lot of men talk about the importance of learning to be disciplined while you're single. So now when you get married, if you haven't disciplined that side of your life yet, then you're going to cheat on your wife. You're going to cheat on the quote unquote woman of your dreams because that's a character flaw. That's a vice for you. And the reason why maybe you remain faithful for that year or so or whenever it was, because it is new. It's, all that stuff is new and all that, but the real character comes out. So it's important to learn the art of discipline while you're single or while God have you in the isolation season. Listen, ladies, y'all gonna love me right now, right? Because a lot of y'all don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it. There's this misconception that women don't want new things either. Like you hear men say all the time, they don't want chicken every night. I've heard that slang, right? They get tired of chicken every night, right? Meaning they want something new every now and then. Listen, just because women don't say it, don't get it twisted. Men get lazy in the bed as well. Women can guess the next move as well. So it's not that she don't per se want something new. I mean, she really, how can I say this without it's not that she wants something new, but at the same time, please don't put that to the back of your mind. We don't have those thoughts or those struggles or we don't get turned on or turned off as well. No, but what the woman is, if she loves you, if she respects you, like she's going to be disciplined in that area. And granted, we know women cheat too. So we're not speaking about all women here. We're speaking about a certain caliber of people in general, right? Right? But there's this misconception. No, honey, y'all can say what y'all want to say, sis, right? But I don't think the urge will be like how men have it, if you will, right? Some men, again, some men are very disciplined. And I said this in a video a couple of days ago. It's also a misconception that women don't cheat. Women cheat probably just as much as men. Just gonna say that now for my brothers who I'm not being one-sided, right? I'm not being biased. I'm trying to, keep things real right now. So okay, my good sis have left your behind. I almost said something just now, right? See, this is why you got to keep your emotions intact, right? Because I'm still a whole woman up over here, right? I just had a flashback just now, right? Okay, so she left you, and you're trying to decipher why do women? You said why can't we understand that for men it's just a physical thing versus emotional? That's another misconception that I said in the recording the other day too. There's also a misconception that women don't cheat unless she's developed some type of emotional attachment to men. Like women won't cheat just from flesh alone. I don't know who came up with that. I don't know who made that lie up, because that is not true. You have women who will cheat for flesh reasons all day long. Maybe she's not satisfied at home because maybe her man is having some issues within the bedroom. Maybe he just can't keep up with her because maybe she may be struggling with her own demons of things that has happened to her in the past, right? And she has no attachment, especially if she's been molested. You can turn those things off because sex is more intimate. But if she's been molested, she's disconnected intimately. So she sees sex just as a fleshly thing, like how men can see it. Now, of course, that's more of a smaller group of women as well, but I'm trying to hit things from different perspectives here. Listen, I hear a lot of men say, a lot, probably most or all, that I've known, how difficult it is for them to have to even have an imagination of another man touching their woman in a certain kind of way. Like, meaning just the whole act of it all, like, will drive them insane. And it happens all the time. You got men putting guns up to women's heads all day long when it comes, like, that type of stuff. Where is the consideration for women when we have to envision that? Yes, we're emotional, right? Men are more visual, women are more emotional. We're emotional, so yeah, you get the cries, you hear the cries, you hear the screaming, you hear us spazzing out, you hear us probably, well, those who go on the flat tires and buy some windows, I ain't got time for that nonsense. I'm just gonna leave your behind straight, kizzy. Like, I feel like I keep moving from spirit to flesh, right? I'm still a whole woman up over here, right? Okay. So you're going to get all that. You're going to get the text message. You're going to get but there is a side. The same way it's hard for you to envision that. Do you know how hard it is for us to envision you touching another woman the exact way you touch us? So it's just not you who have to think about that. We too have that vision. So it's not easy to just forget that. So for you, it may have just been physical. It may have not been anything emotional. And I believe that. I believe you 100%. Well, I can't say that, but I believe you. You don't have a reason to lie to me, right? I believe you when it says it was specifically physical. But you cannot ask her to block that visual out of her head. You talking about flashbacks? She will have constant flashbacks. because she knows how you move, especially if you a freak of the week. Ooh, child. I'm trying to stay focused, right? I'm trying to answer these questions. I actually should have had the email like literally like highlighted. All right, my bro. What can you do? Honestly, you got to pull back and you got to give her time, right? You can't bombard. I speak about this often because it happens a lot. And it's just not men, but again, I'm responding to a man right now. But when somebody messes up, they want to bombard you, literally. I mean, bombard you with calls, with texts, with, well, what can I do? Like they're trying to prove themselves. That is the most, to me, that's the most disrespectful thing a person can do. Because it's almost like, if you're now asking me, well, what can I do? How can I make you trust me? So these are things that you could have done all along. But now you're only doing it because you're caught up. So you didn't value or respect me enough to put these measures in place prior, knowing that a day would come, because everything done in the light, in the dark, is going to come out in the light. Especially if she's tapped in, God's going to always reveal it. God's going to always unfold it. It's going to always come to light. But if you couldn't put those measures in place at the time, then how much did you really value losing me? So now you've lost me. Now you want to do everything. That's disrespectful. But you got to give her time to process it. Right? But I think that the reason why people want to bombard you, because they know if you mess around and process it, you might process things to the point where you realize that you're not coming back and that you didn't deserve that. So they feel like they would love bomb you or bombard you because it won't give you time to think. You got to fall back. If you love her, fall back and let her be. Throughout her time of processing, God will reveal things to her, and maybe even about you. God may show her why you did what you did. Right? God may give her grace and give her to say, okay, try to work it out, but I'm going to give you specific demands that he must meet. And if that's the case, you must meet those demands. You can't be out here moving around saying, I don't want to give you no password. Nah, you just got to trust me. Sir, you don't have to. Right? We're all adults here. You make your own decisions. You don't have to, but just take the loss. But you can't bombard her and say, just forgive me, not forgive. No. You can't place a time frame on forgiveness when you were the person that even caused the hurt and the harm. She's going to have to forgive on her own time frame. You can't stress her out. Just let her be. Literally, just let her be. And there's no guarantee what's going to happen. If she does not come back, my brother, allow this to be a lesson to you. You know, a lot of the times things are lessons for us. Maybe, right, in your next relationship, if God sends you, you won't do it again. If you got some common sense, you won't do it again because you know the price you had to pay this go round. So she may have been your lesson. And I'm not saying she's not coming back. Hear me. I'm not saying that. I pray she does, because reading your email, literally, like, I really felt horrible for you. But then the womanly side of me knows, like, we get tired. We get tired. And the thing about it is, trust me, she felt some things been going on all along. If you really peel back, she may have even mentioned certain things to you. She may have even been questioning certain moves, right? Very strategically. Oh, you just didn't get caught and she didn't. No, 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 no. She picked up on a few things. She brought it to your attention. When she brought it to your attention, then was your chance right there to make those corrections. I do think it's important to apologize. You did ask me about that. Thanks for that popped up in my head. You did ask if you should absolutely you should apologize. But then again, that does not, if she doesn't give you the answer you want, meaning if you apologize and she says, okay, I accept your apology, I need some time. You're gonna have to respect that. Like, and you can't be mad about that. Well, I apologize. What the? Okay, okay. Okay, you got yourself in this situation here, so you're not going to get all antsy with me because child, please, right? My brother, I would advise you to tap into some strong brothers who know the importance of discipline, purpose, and calling. Definitely Pastor R.C. Blakes. Matter of fact, you found me through Pastor R.C. Blakes. So yeah, Pastor R.C. Blakes. More recently, I've been talking about Immortal Minds, speaking about the art of discipline, the importance of how literally, like, you must be disciplined as a man when it comes down, especially to your sexual nature, because it's like you cannot climb if you have no discipline. Each time you try to climb, a chick is going to take you down one way or another. Let it be through her heavy energy. Let it be through her just gold digging ways. A chick who's going to literally break your heart. Like, each time these things happen, you're going to take a setback. So the best thing to do is level up as a man. And you've been here because you said that, and that's how you encountered her, right? Is to level up as a man first, right? Purpose, calling, discipline, all that stuff. And then when God sends the one to you, you will know. You also said you've been drinking more. That's very common, bro, honestly. Let it be weed, drugs, truth be told, even more sex. People try to mask hurt and mask pain in different areas. I just spoke about this on a video this morning on the importance of when you're going through a disappointment, when you're dealing with emotional issues, when you're dealing with a heartbreak. It's so important to just be disciplined enough to not try to tap into other things, because you're really just trying to mask that pain, but you're making it worse because you are literally allowing the enemy to open up other portals, right? To have demons come in and those things multiply because you're already hurt, you're already broken, you're already at a low place. Now the enemy is literally playing out with your mind, sending you all kind of chicks. Listen, you can screw 5 chicks tonight. You and me both know that nothing is literally going to measure up, no pun intended, nothing is going to measure up to this one chick who you have feelings for. So don't even waste your time. Don't waste your time there. Don't waste their time there, because all you're doing is further damaging your other sisters out here, knowing you want absolutely nothing to do with them in that way, because your heart and your mind is tied up someplace else. So then your karma is going to come back even more because you're responsible for what you're doing. But be careful about the portals that you leave open. Let it be through addictions, through, again, also it's alcohol, drugs, sex, porn, or whatever. Be very careful right now. I think the most important thing you can do is, again, invest in yourself, meaning get around some men who can hold you accountable, listen to podcasts and to men who are, on their A game when it comes down to purpose, calling, etc., etc. Keep working out if you're not doing that. Like, just invest in yourself right now. And I know that's easier said than done, right? Because you're trying to work out and then your mind's on the girl. I get it. Trust me. I get it. But there's really nothing more you can do. You can't beat her door down, right? You can't send 1,000 flowers. You can't, like that. Nobody wants that stuff. That was mean. Nobody wants that stuff. She doesn't want none of that stuff. She don't want no flowers. See, some men get this thing mixed up. Again, you're trying to appease somebody with physical stuff who's not moved by physical things. All she wanted was you. She fell in love with you, your spirit. So you're confusing her with the average chick. The average chick, you can go and drop off 100 roses and you can buy her this new car. You can buy her that stuff. And that stuff is just not moving a chick who is with you for the right reasons. I'm just going to keep it real. And I know men think that all women are moved by physical things. It's not true. I'm telling you, I'm a whole woman up over here. I am not moved, have never been moved by physical things. I like nice things, but that stuff does not move me. And a lot of females, I know. Trust me when I tell you. So that's my advice to you, brother. I want to say this to you. Stay strong, right? You're not perfect. You're not perfect. But at the same time, we do have to be accountable for our actions. Meaning, you made a quote unquote mistake, right? So you said. I mean, I'm not saying that that's not true, but mistakes, when it comes down to that, no, because listen, that starts with a thought. You got to drive over there, or she got to drive. Like you got to repair this whole thing to even happen. So that's not a mistake, right? You knew what you were doing. You just didn't know you would get caught. But you're not perfect. I hope she comes back. I hope you guys work it out. Again, if she does, you're going to have to be sure that you prove yourself over time with whatever things that she asks you, as well as, I think that's all I have. My puppy is in the background. I have to get my puppy out the room. I think that's all I have, but I do pray, honestly, that everything works out for you. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.